AllnDaKards family, and this is Keziah with All in the Cards, coming to do a case. This was a case that was sent to me by one of the subscribers, and one of my spiritual family members sent me this. It was a couple of different people sent me this case. This is for Giovanni Pelletier. Pelletier, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm not sure. But we're gonna see, right? I have the actual article. That's him with his parents. Okay. I'm gonna try to get it closer so you guys can see. But this is the article on ABC 11. It says body believed to be missing. North Carolina 18-year-old found in a pond near where last seen in Florida. They say that he was in Florida, but he was from North Carolina. Near where I'm located, in North Carolina. But it looks like he disappeared and was found. I don't know the backstory. Okay, I don't know the backstory. I just know that I think they said he went to go visit his father in Florida, but he was from North Carolina, or he was on a family vacation, is what it says in the article. They said that he was with family members when he was went missing or something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure, family, but I'm not going to read too much into it. I'm just going to get into what the ancestors tell us. Okay, his body was found, so that is at least one piece of the puzzle that the family can have a burial or have a memorial for him. So, but we want to know what truly happened is what they are asking. Most of the people that sent me the article and sent me the messages in reference of tapping into the energy. So we're going to see, ancestors, we ask that you come through. We send love and peace and healing to the spiritual realm. We ask that you bring the justice and the physical and in the spiritual to the now ancestors of this 18-year-old baby. All right, so ancestors, let's get to it, and let's see what you bring forth in reference of the message of what happened to him, truly what happened to Giovanni. What happened to Giovanni? What happened to Giovanni? Let me see if I can get a better picture of him. Okay, here's a better picture of him, so I can look at his face. He looked like a very cheerful, nice guy, right? Giovanni Pelletier. What happened to you, Giovanni? Pretty name. What happened to you, Giovanni? Show me in the cards. What happened to you, love? What happened to you in Florida when you was on your vacation? Show me in the cards what happened to you. What happened to you, Giovanni? Show me what happened. What happened, Giovanni? What happened to you in Florida? What happened to you? Giovanni, what happened to you? Show me in the cards. Stored data, some type of stored information, okay? Or convenience store. Okay. Okay. Wow. Interesting, huh? Okay. So we have some interesting cards that came out for this situation. Like I said, I don't know the situation, the back end. I just know that they said he was what's in the article, okay, and what's in the news. First thing first is shopping. So somebody went to go get something. Okay, that's what this means. Okay. There's something about someone going to go get something. He may have went to go get something, went to go shopping, or someone was going to go get something. But I have justice beside it. So I don't know if there was some type of legal situation he was in or some type of court situation or waiting on some type of justice in some situation where he was going to go get something because of some type of justice or someone was. Um, and I have confessed. So it looks like he and under confess is racist, which is letting me know um, somebody could have been racist towards him in some way, bias. Okay. Now the human trafficking doesn't always mean like actually human trafficking. It can also mean where someone was let me give y'all the direct um I always like to do this when I come up on this, and it's a different meaning in this case, right? Um, so what it means is a modern day slavery, or involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of commercial sex or money. Okay. It's pretty much human trafficking is the recruitment, okay, or the receipt of people being forced into something because of money. So he could have been forced into doing something or having something. It looks like it's connected to some type of justice situation. Somebody is living out their ego, okay, with the shadow work needed. Somebody needed to do shadow work. Somebody who was going through some things, could have been going through some major emotional trauma and hurt, okay, but it was like somebody was trying to make him do something, and even being very racist against him, with the human trafficking. So it's not that he was taken, you know what I'm saying, he could have been, but to me, it looks like that the ancestors is trying to say this is something that it was something he was forced to do, okay, that he didn't want to do. Looks like confess and racist. Somebody wanted him to confess, or someone will confess in reference of this. And it could be in reference of some type of, legal situation that comes up in the future. But what we also have is the stores. I don't know if there is a convenience store that was near where he was found, or they went to a convenience store, or there's some type of information that's being withheld when I see this. So let's clarify the spread and see what the ancestors is trying to tell us, especially with us getting the human trafficking card. Although, like I said, that card can tell you many things, right? And in this case, it could tell you about being taken by force to do something, right? Force or coercion or fraud, to obtain something for someone who's being racist, who is being biased, who is being unfair. You see, clarity in the spread in reference to what happened to Giovanni, ancestors. Clarity in the spread of what happened to Giovanni. Clarity in reference of the messages that are here for Giovanni. Messages about Giovanni, ancestors. What's happened with Giovanni? Giovanni, what happened, ancestors, in reference of Giovanni? What happened, ancestors, in reference of Giovanni? Secrets. Okay. So it looks like somebody snapped, okay, in reference of somebody flipped out, okay, somebody snapped, okay, in reference of him going to go get something from somewhere or from someone, or maybe even this could have went back in reference of him going shopping with someone, or we've seen that convenience store, so it could have been somebody, him going shopping or going to go get something from the store from someone, and someone snapped on him, flipped out on him, because it looks like he was scared. Okay, but also that goes back to anything, right? Because look underneath of that, you see that shadow work and divorce. I don't know if his parents was divorced, okay? Because I know he wasn't married at that age, but it looks like there was emotional trauma behind the divorce situation or what happened. So either he was going to go get, or either the one of the divorced parents that he may have been with was going to had snapped out. It looks like, okay, just plain and simple here. And because it looks like he was scared behind some type of justice situation, or what happened with the divorce, or what happened, maybe even, I don't know if they were in some type of child custody situation, This is what it's starting to look like with the divorce that's here and the snap and somebody trying to go get something. So maybe one of the parents that he was with was trying to go get something or wanted to get justice in some type of situation, because it looks like that he was very scared of this parent, or scared at the point of when they flipped out and snapped out. There's some type of legal situation connected to this, but this goes back also to what the ancestors is saying here about the confess and the control. So it looks like somebody may have confessed that they wanted control over the situation, or there will be someone who should confess or may confess about taking control over the situation. But it looks like maybe he kind of confessed to some things too. Maybe even about this situation of the parents being divorced or separated, because it looks like he had some emotional things going on. Ancestor said shadow work is needed. But he was scared. Somebody snapped, okay? Somebody snapped. Somebody took control over the situation. There was war. There was conflict. So that's the forced coercion. That's the being scared of being taken to do something. He was being taken to do something. There was war amongst the relationship, the divorce situation. See, with some type of legal situation going on in here. This is a lot. This is like a family situation because of the divorce, because I know he's only 18. Okay. And I know it has to do with being forced to do something behind some type of money, because this doesn't just mean like you're being human trafficked, but it can mean in reference of that person being used in reference of being forced to get some type of money, you see? And it goes back to the justice. Look at the justice and the human trafficking on the same one, and it's the war. And look at scared. See, you got to read the words, right? The meaning behind the words and the energy, okay? So this was some type of war. This was some type of conflict already brewing amongst someone that wasn't together any longer, that he was connected to. Okay. And it was something that played out in reference of some type of judicial situation. Somebody took control and he was scared. They snapped out on him. They flipped out on him. Look at this card. Look at the red, the anger, the energy behind the rage in that card. And it may have been going back to somebody going to go get something or coming to go get him, or, something of that sort. We also have cyber attacks. So there could have been something online that was maybe even racist or unfair to him during that time, or he may have been cyber attacked in some way, or whoever was in war in reference of the divorce. It could have been that, somebody having some type of feud online is what that looks like. And it looks like it goes back to somebody confessing some things online or something, because there's some secrets here. See the secrets on the bottom of the deck. So that secrets goes back to this internet attack, somebody calling him, being racist towards him and unfair, somebody making him do something and be in conflict, him being scared, him having emotional trauma and drama in reference of this divorce of his parents of some sort, and the war that was going on in some type of legal situation. It's a lot here that an 18-year-old is put into, because this is what it's showing, is what the ancestors is saying with these secrets. Yes, it was a lot of secrets. Look, right? And it has something to do with some type of maybe even court. I'm hearing court order. Clarity in the snap in the shopping in reference of Giovanni Pelletier. Ancestors, you know what I'm trying to say. This baby I'm looking at here. What is this snap in shopping in reference of Giovanni Pelletier, Giovanni Pelletier? Why is this snapped here in shopping? Who snapped? What snapped in reference of Giovanni? Get away. Somebody wanted to get away, or he was trying to get away, or someone was trying to get away in reference of something that was confessed. Okay. So I have get away on the snapped. Okay. And the going to get. So he was trying to get away, or somebody was trying to get away. The getaway is connected to the control and the confess. Okay. Somebody snapped out. Now I have a date on the bottom of the deck. The date is the same energy as the divorce. So this goes back to either somebody that, you know, he was, which I don't feel that he was dating, that this wasn't connected to. This goes back to maybe somebody that one of the divorced parents was dating, or there's a date connected to that, some kind of confession. Okay, this confession even could have came amongst the internet, but there was some type of war going on already. Okay, clarity in this justice and the scared for this baby. Giovanni Pelletier. Why is this scared injustice here for Giovanni Pelletier? Why is this scared injustice here? Scared injustice for Giovanni Pelletier. Deviation, yeah. So deviating away from the situation, although he was captured or somebody took him. It's like as if somebody took, because I got all my cards in reference of coercion, right? Get away, confess, and captured, like as if somebody was trying to get him, right? To take him, to make him do something. That's what I'm feeling in the energy, okay? In the messages, in what the answers is saying. And then somebody deviated away from the situation, even deviating away from some type of justice or something in the justice system or some type of court situation because somebody was scared. He was scared, or someone else was scared also of what was going to happen. Okay, and looks like it goes back to somebody being divorced as well. I don't know who it is that was divorced. Maybe his parents was divorced. I don't know. But it was like somebody was trying to get him, capture him. Why is the confess and the control here for Giovanni Pelletier? Which a lot of this doesn't make sense to me. Y'all have to tell me because I don't know. Control and confess for Giovanni. The son, yeah. So he is the son, and this is the group of people. Okay, so he was amongst a group of people that was trying to take control and make him confess to some things. He's the son. And it could also be somebody else's son as well. But control and confess is clarified with the son. Okay, so in controlled and confess with this son was scared, and somebody snapped out on the son because they were trying to deviate away from some type of situation. They were trying to get away from some type of situation that they was at war about. Could have been about some money. Okay, because some way, somehow, somebody felt the need to either use him in reference of getting to the money, or something about money. Okay, and the coercion of it, or the forcing of it, the war that goes behind the human trafficking, which is just the concept of what the ancestors is trying to tell us, because it goes back to some type of justice legal situation that somebody was scared about anyway, but they deviated away from that situation. But a group of people is involved with this, a club, a group of people, okay, that wanted control over the situation. Give me the divorce and the shadow work. Why is that here? Divorce and shadow work for Giovanni Pelletier. Why is divorce and shadow work here? Divorce and shadow work for Giovanni. The Ankh. Okay, so somebody lost their way. Somebody that works or is in some type of government position, works for the government, in the government, dealing with the government. Could be a contractor, could be something connected to the government that could go back to legal. It could go back to also authorities, some type of, government position. But somebody lost their way, wound up being divorced, and now they're living in their shadow, or they need shadow work because they're emotionally messed up. And so was he as well. But this card is the Ankh. It's about, he felt a lot of trauma. He lost his way on his path in reference of the divorce that happened with his parents as well. But not only him, but also his parents, okay, is what I'm feeling in that energy, okay? I don't know if he ever was in some type of government situation, or, war and human trafficking ancestors. Why is this here? War and human trafficking for Giovanni. War and human trafficking for Giovanni. Why is that here? War and human trafficking for Giovanni. Record. So something's on the record. Somebody was drowning in emotion. Somebody was very emotional about this whole situation. It's on record about Okay. And you know what Answers just said back to me? Somebody could have went to war. Okay. Been in some type of maybe even military or government situation, may have went to war where it's on record. But there is also some type of conflict behind this human trafficking, and it's on record. So something is already documented in reference of this situation with the son, the divorce, the judicial system, people being scared, people snapping out, people deviating away from the situation. This all the racist. This all goes back to somebody already being in conflict with yeah, and distractions also, because TV just flipped on. So, something's on record. Something also was recorded, okay? In reference of the conflict and the coercion and the force of some type of situation that goes back to money in some way. Cyber attack and justice. I'm sorry, and racist. Cyber attack and racist for Giovanni. Why is that here? Cyber attack and racist. Cyber attack and racist. Why is that here? Giovanni. Why is the racist and the cyber attack? Kidnap. And there's the group of people. So somebody took him. Okay. That I do know. Okay. And they wanted him to confess. They took control over him. There was some type of kidnapping that happened. Okay. And this goes back to something that was told, or some type of situation that's over the internet. They need to check devices. Okay. Because it's documented. This goes back to someone who, in their ego, needed shadow work, already traumatized, somebody who snapped, okay, and thought they were going to get away with this situation, or wanted to get away from this situation. So they went and got him, okay? They kidnapped him, okay? They forced him to do some things, it looks like in here, okay? Clarity on this situation in reference of going to go get Giovanni. Why was this a situation? What was Giovanni? What was this situation in, sisters? Manipulation, yeah, gaslighting and control. And we got control right up here with this son, with him. So we got control more than once here. And then we got the alive and aware. So somebody who's alive and aware knows exactly what was going on. It's a group of people behind this situation. It's not just one person, okay? But this was manipulation and control, okay? This is gaslighting. Somebody is alive and aware, okay, of what happened to this boy. Giovanni, Pelletier, what happened? Secret weapon. Yeah, it lies. So this definitely tells me a lot. Okay, so somebody was manipulative. Somebody has a secret, or had a secret weapon. Okay, now that secret weapon, y'all know I like to pull up the exact definitions when I get some of these cards, because I can't remember all of them, family. So I have to I had to go back to some of what is in the so secret weapon, okay, and this is a hidden advantage, concealed tool, or unknown resource, a convert compatibility, okay? So yes, somebody was using some type of hidden advantage or a concealed tool or unknown source, but there was lies being told as well. Okay, so somebody was telling lies in reference to what happened, and they will be telling lies. Manipulation and control is what someone was trying to. Yeah, somebody self-sabotaging. Here we go with the trafficking again. So I don't know what's up with this stop trafficking and the human trafficking that we have, but it's on the bottom of the deck. So it's twice that it's come out, but also I have self-sabotage that's come out. The self-sabotage that's here, the ancestors is wanting us to know about that as well. This is about an internal destruction or self-defeating behavior, a personal undetermining conscious hindrance. Okay, so somebody, and it goes back to him, could have been in that same position as well. Okay. But the stop trafficking, and I don't know why we keep getting the trafficking in his situation, but I do see that the ancestors is saying illegal transport, human exploration, criminal network, or forced movement. Now that goes back to what I was saying about somebody's taking him and making him do something, and I do feel that. And we had the club on the bottom of the deck, and then on the underneath of that we got payback. So back at you. So it could have been some type of revenge in here. What else can you tell us about Giovanni? Hotel, motel, mind control. So they could have taken him, or it could have been some type of, well, he could have stayed at a hotel or a motel when he was traveling. And then there's some type of mind control, which control is up here again. Something about him confessing some things, family. I don't know what this person wanted him to confess or to tell them, but they took him, right? There was some type of private property. We have that here in a witness. Okay. One more, ancestors. Giovanni, what happened to you? Yeah. And here's the cult and the murder. It's a group of people. See that? It's a group of people, and he didn't just unalive himself. These people here in this cult and in this group, okay, could have been on private property or in a hotel. But this is definitely what you see here, unaliving. And they kidnapped him, but there was more than one person as well, family, okay, that I'm seeing connected to this situation with Giovanni. Giovanni ancestors. Yeah, he was like royalty. Okay, that's what they didn't realize. He was like royalty. There's some delays in this situation that's happening as well. Royalty is about elite status, privileged position. Okay, and that's the way they may have looked at him, like he was in some type of privileged position or something of that sort, Giovanni, what else can you tell me? Thank you, ancestors. Yeah, life insurance, and here's the final ending. So somebody is trying to get some type of life insurance, or may try to have done this to get some life insurance. Just being manipulative. But let's see what we can get as the outcome, and now I'm gonna wrap this up. Okay, but this baby definitely didn't just go missing, and he definitely didn't just unalive himself. This was some type of greed, control. This was some type of mind manipulation. Okay, somebody went to get him, maybe even because of this. Okay, yeah. Somebody already had some type of secret weapon. He was coerced there. Okay. The self-sabotage could have been him trying to, be with whoever this was that he was going to go see. But in actuality, it was more or less like he was the son. And it was some type of, taken by this group of people. I keep getting that over and over. What else? What's the outcome message in reference to what happened to him? I feel like I see do not resuscitate. So I do feel that this goes back to someone not trying to resuscitate him in the final ending. And there's revenge as well. So, and I did see the imprisonment. So if somebody could get locked up behind this, look at all these cups that fell out. Wow. Wow. Look at all these cups. This was a big, big emotional situation. This goes back to the family. Yeah. Look at all these cups. Every card I've never gotten these cards as an outcome card as all these cups, family. Look at this. That's the 9 of cups. I'm sorry. This is the 10 of cups, which is family. This is 7 of cups. Okay. And this is, wait, did I add that right? Wait a minute. Yeah, that's the 7 of cups, 10 of cups, and this is the 9 of cups. That's insane. I've never got them like that. So that tells me that this is definitely something that somebody was, when I seen the drown, remember we seen the drown earlier, that definitely lets me know, and that comes to 26. So this tells me that this was something about somebody who definitely executed this son. Okay, this was definitely revenge. This was definitely something emotional. This was definitely something that goes back to someone being uncomfortable about some type of situation that played out and that snapped. Okay, this person could have been even drinking. Okay, intoxicated when they did this. Okay, this goes back to, and I have to say it because, allegedly, everything is allegedly, but this energy goes back to someone very close to him in the family, parent wise, because I got divorce and I got son. And I got the 10 of cups and the 9 of cups and the 7 of cups as the outcome. So I'm going to leave it there. Y'all let me know. And I have a man here with another cup on the bottom. So it was definitely a male that's connected to him and his family. All right. Everything here is allegedly all for entertainment purposes only. This is all non-factual. You guys let me know what you think. But yeah, the ending was the number 26. Everything here is allegedly. May you receive the justice in the physical and in the spiritual. We send you love, harmony, peace. Hit the like button, family. Peace.